Welcome to 0x Unstuck. Today's fix, the most common error in all of JavaScript. You cannot read properties of undefined. We'll reproduce it, understand exactly why it happens, and fix it 3 different ways. Beginner friendly. If you've written any JavaScript, you've hid this, it almost always means you reached for something inside an object that wasn't there. Let's make it happen on purpose, then kill it. If clear bug breakdowns help you, a quick like really helps. First, what undefined is. In JavaScript, undefined is the value something has when it has no value. A missing object key is undefined. An array index that doesn't exist is undefined. A function that doesn't return anything gives you undefined. And here's the key, undefined has no properties. So when you write user.address.city, but address is undefined, you're asking for a property of nothing, and JavaScript throws. That's the whole error in one sentence. Yes, here's the setup. A user object with a name and age but no address, then we confidently read user.address.city, assuming every user has an address. Watch what happens. Name prints fine. Then type error. Cannot read properties of undefined reading city. There it is, the classic. Read the message carefully, it's telling you everything. Cannot read properties of undefined means some value was undefined. And reading city in parentheses tells you the exact property you tried to access, which means address was the undefined thing. The error hands you the clue. In real code, this comes from a few usual suspects. An API response that is missing a field, an array.find that didn't find anything and returned undefined data that hasn't loaded yet in an async app, or simply a typo in the property name. Now the fix is, the modern clean one is two small operators working together. First, optional chaining, a question mark before the dot, user.address question.city. If address is null or undefined, the expression short circuits to undefined. Instead of throwing, it stops the crash. Then Nullish coalescing, 2 question marks. If the left side is null or undefined, use the fallback on the right. Unlike the OR operator, it won't trip on an empty string or a 0, only on null or undefined. Put together user.address to question.city, double question mark unknown. If there is no address, we get undefined from the chain, then fall back to the string unknown. No crash. Run it. Name prints and city prints unknown. The program runs to completion. No error. Optional chaining isn't the only way. You can guard with an if statement. Use the structuring defaults, or best of all, validate the data at the boundary right where it enters your app so the rest of your code can trust it. One warning, don't sprinkle optional chaining everywhere on autopilot. If a field is supposed to always be there, a missing one is a real bug. And silently defaulting it just hides the problem deeper. Fix the source when the data should exist. The sneakiest source is array.find. If nothing matches, it returns undefined. And the next line that reads a property explodes. Whenever you use find, check the result before you use it. Quick aside, since we do a lot of Rust here, this entire class of bug doesn't exist in Rust. There's no null. A value that might be missing is an option, and the compiler refuses to build until you handle the missing case. The bug becomes impossible instead of optional. Recap. Undefined has no properties, so reading 1 throws. The error's reading export points you to the culprit. Fix it with optional chaining and a fallback, a guard, or by validating the data where it arrives. Quick one, if these help you, the wallet's on screen and there's a coffee link in the description. Every tip funds the next one. If this helped, hit like and subscribe. The new dev fix every day. See you in the next one.